Hello and welcome to Vital Perspectives. I'm your host, Dr. Marwin Spiller, and we have with us today a special guest, Ms. Foster.
Hey, how are you?
Hello. We got a special Valentine's Day edition. We're talking about black love or war. Let's talk about dating, relationships, and why black men and women find themselves in such a fight to find the one.
Ooh, I don't know if our viewers are ready for this.
Yeah, so I always wanted to do a Valentine's Day edition, and I thought that this would be a great time because we know that there's a lot going on, especially with Black History Month,
Yes.
Black love, Black history. Black folks struggle with love.
We do.
So I want to start out, I don't want to get too much in your business, but
I'm an open book. So.
can you tell us your definition of black love from your experience with love and heartbreak?
My definition of black love is peace.
Mm-hmm.
My definition of black love is the reassurance that I am your queen and you're my king, and there's no role playing.
Mm-hmm.
We roll off each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think society has made women so hard, and men want us to be so soft. But when a woman is taking care of 90% of the function in the home, we break up. We become hard.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're making my load light, then I'm going to soften up.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a two-parent home prior to my father passing away, and all my mom had to do was wake up.
Okay.
So I grew up wanting that princess lifestyle, but the reality is that time is changing and more women are coming very self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
But we still want love, but I don't want it at my peace. If I have to pay for my peace, I don't think I can accept that.
And what do you mean by that? I mean, why did you have to have one or the other and not have both?
I mean, just think about it. Most people have to explain why they took a nap. You can't even take a nap in relationships because you have people, where are you? Where you been? You know, it's the third degree and you're sitting there like, I was asleep.
Yeah.
So I think that if we get back to the sitting at the dining room table, all this eating and going and mixed emotions, step away from social media, that's not the reality. I think so many people are relying on other people's false narratives.
Okay.
And they bring that back home.
So is it a misconception that you can't have love without jealousy? Because if you love someone, you want to know where they're at, you want to know what they're doing, you want to check the phone, you want to make sure. Can you have love without jealousy?
Absolutely not. I mean, and it could be, it doesn't have to be harsh jealousy. I mean, you have some women that get jealous how their husband or their significant other love the son or the daughter a little bit more than them. So it can be fun jealousy, but then when it becomes toxic, I think most men and women need to wake up, because this is where we have the affairs to where women or men, they seek outside the relationship, and then you have another person who's caught up in this triangle, and it's just a disaster because no one is sitting down saying, hey, I'm not happy for XYZ. Instead, we go out and find XYZ.
Right.
But we want ABC to stay there. So now we're in a pulpit.
Yeah. Now you talk about your parents. Sounds like they had a relationship that's very different than what you're describing now. I mean, why is it so hard for us to get that today?
It was so beautiful because I can give you a brief description. I watched my parents, my mother and father, lay the bills out. I watched them both pitch in. When it was time for us to get school closed, I watched them both pitch in. When we had a behavior, I watched them both reprimand us. It was never, get your son, get your daughter.
Right.
I just watched my dad compliment my mom in ways where she was lacking, and she complimented him. But now it's more like men and women are forcing their significant other to come fully established. Now, me, I need you to come healed, and I will maintenance you. But I cannot take you broken because you're going to cut me. You're going to bleed on me. So.
Is that a real concern of I know you speak of your experience, but how much do you think that's representative of a lot of women?
I think that's about 85% of a lot of men and women. A lot of women are bleeding on men, and I'll use myself. I ran a potential husband away from my insecurities. I couldn't believe I was getting treated good. I needed to see what's to it. Why are you doing this? A lot of women refuse to hold themselves accountable. So when he decided to walk away, I had to take that. Like I pushed this man away, and I had to learn from it because he didn't deserve that type of drama that I was bringing when he was coming from peace. He didn't understand why I was so broken because, like I said, I didn't come healed. I just came in the door like, you're like the rest.
Right, right.
And men do that too. They mess with one woman that has broken them, and now you're just like the rest. Like it's a never-ending cycle if you don't break that.
Now, how much of that you think is universal in that all groups go through that, and how much of it is particular to the Black community or the Black experience, Black men, Black women? Do they carry a different?
Yes, Black men and Black women are victimized and traumatized by their childhood. A lot of
And you say that's in a way different from white men and women?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The Black men had to grow up in households where they felt pressure to produce. There was a time where we had welfare, wouldn't allow the Black man to be in the house. How can I expect my king to feel like he's a king, and in order to me to keep my welfare assistance, he can't be in my home? And white people didn't have to experience that because true enough, they were getting welfare, but it wasn't frowned upon as well as the Black community. You'll see a Black couple with 6 kids, you immediately think negative. Oh,
right.
Wow,
Yeah.
But we see a white couple and it's almost, there's no offense taken.
Yes.
So I think that a lot of our child traumas and a lot of our unhealed wounds, they never close because we're constantly pouring in it. You know? And a lot of us Black people refuse to heal. You can pour into someone until your cup run over. Now you're stressed out because in your mind you feel like I did everything I could do. What more can I do? But it's not your fault. It's because they will not heal from those traumas. So they're able to love. Like you have to let go. And I just learned to let go maybe 3 years ago.
Okay. And what brought you to the point of? I didn't want to be the angry Black woman. And we're labeled the angry Black woman because we want to be understood. But we can't be understood because we're so emotional. We're crying and we're not making any sense. We're being rational. So I had to fix me. It's me because you cannot put your happiness into a man. I can't say, you're the reason I'm sad. No, I'm the reason I'm sad. I got to fix me so I can be a better me. And then that goes, vice versa. A lot of men are in relationships that they don't want to be in. But they want to move on, but it's something holding them back. Like I think people need to realize that time is not on our side. Right. Love is real, and love will heal all wounds if you allow it. Yeah. Well, that's interesting you say that, particularly when we think about, I guess, your parents' era and then where we at now. Certainly your parents didn't have hip hop, which certainly don't necessarily promote healthy relationships. They give us these images and facades and that are not real.
The music is horrible. I thank God I have an old soul because the music now is really now allowing our Black men to love a woman correctly. And if you honestly sit and listen to you can't be serious. They're downing us, and then now women are becoming the images of the songs because this is what they're hearing. Like with me, if you get in the car with me, you're gonna hear Gladys Knight, you're gonna hear Marvin Gaye. Okay. That's the type of woman I am. But when I get around other people or when I play R&B, oh, you're so sad. No, I'm not sad. This is soothing to me. But the music now is harsh.
Yeah, it doesn't
It's making
promote.
men not love
Yeah.
us at all.
Yeah, and that's sort of bring up a point that I noticed. I've been DJing now for about 15 years or so
So
in
you
clubs.
know.
Yeah, and so yeah, you hear the music has changed, but what has also changed, and I don't know if it's the music, I don't know if it's just where black men and black women are at today, but you go, I can observe the club, you got men on this side, and they with their friends. You got the women on that side, they with their friends. And there's not a lot of interactions. And certainly the music doesn't promote coming together, so there's this divide. And with the division, there's no sexual energy, no sexual tension. It was like no one is really. What is the state of black men and women's relationship, in your opinion, today?
It's horrible. It's sad, and it needs to stop. It needs to change because our kids need to see us being loved correctly. The fact that men are not into taking women on dates, or I'm not a date type of person. Well, you just went to a concert with your friends. That's a date. Or the fact that us women, we put so much out there and we're not getting it back. We have to learn to put our foot down. I'm at a point in my life where you got 30 days and you're out.
Give them 30 days.
30 days. You have 30 days. And I'm trying to be lenient because it used to be 24 hours.
Okay.
Because when the moment someone opens their mouth, it tells them everything about them. They could look like God's gift. The moment she or he opens their mouth, you're like, oh no, I don't want nothing to do with this person. So I just feel like I'm gonna give you my all. First impression is everything to me. It's not me laying everything out or telling you that this is how you need to treat me, because men and women have to be okay with pouring into each other. I'm not going to ask you for nothing. I can't buy twice, and I pray you don't ask me for nothing. You can't buy twice.
Right.
And women need to get into the fact that all men are not financially stable, and all women not. You have some women. I have female friends, and I tell them like, that's not it. I don't want a man to feel like, oh, I need to have this much money. I have had people literally tell me, I don't pursue you because I feel like I can't afford you. I am a thrifter. Hi, my name is Tree. I'm a thrifter. But I get it,
right,
because the way I carry myself. But I want a man to be okay to say, hey, I have a 9 to 5. Rent is due. We might could do something this weekend. Nobody's being honest.
Right.
It's the idea of looking like money and not having it.
Right.
And that's where love is lost, because I see you in a nice car, I see you on social media doing all these glamorous things, and then I come to your house and there's an air mattress.
Right.
Explain. But if you being transparent and say, hey, look, I just started my trucking business, or I just started this is where I'm at. Like, living in your truth is so refreshing. Like, hello, this is me.
Right, and that's hard to do. I mean, particularly with social media. I mean, it certainly has made social life different. I mean, how do you live in your truth? I mean, you talk about going on dates. I mean, if you don't have a job that can sustain it, and you don't have a job, but you're fronting on social media, you're gonna have a problem. I mean, probably the easiest thing to do is to say I'm not a date person than to say I don't have no money.
You can be honest. At this moment, hey, I like you, but I gotta work on me. I gotta get me together. And the only way I can be there for you is if I get me together. And then keep in mind, though, a lot of us in the black community, we are very misleading, women and men. They will pursue.
What do you mean?
They will pursue you knowing they have no intentions on being with you. It's just the fact that I want to see if I can get you. When I get you, I got you. The chase is always dead. So I'm big on.
There's nothing at the end of the race. Just run, and chase, and when you
my father used to say this: when you understand the chase, you'll know. I didn't know what that means, but I know now. So I guess in a sense, we gotta stop being so available. We are too available for other people's needs, but then when it comes to our needs, we're just like, oh, it's okay. I understand. I'm at a point where I don't understand.
Right.
I just don't, because that has been a blanket in the black community. That's an easy way for saying you're full of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand. And most times we say it because we just don't even want to dig deep.
Mm-hmm.
But the root of it is that we go back home, we lay in our bed, she's on your mind, he's on your mind, but nobody's big enough to take the elephant out the room like, hey, this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I think that's so, I mean, it's critical, particularly right now. We're talking about, again, Black History Month. I throw a statistic out there to you. 70% of black children grow up in homes without a father. If we can't get it together, I mean, what's the state of the future of the black family and the kids?
I hate to sound like a politic, but we're at a state of emergency because my daughter, I'm a single mother, and I do not believe that I can give my daughter the love that a father can give. We have some people say, I'm your mom and your dad. No, you're not. You're just the mom.
Mm-hmm.
And not having the father, my father passed away when I was 16, and not having him there was a nightmare. It's still a nightmare because you need that male testosterone. If we don't get back to a point where these, not and let's not even be technical, it doesn't have to be the actual father. Just the fact that having a male figure in the home is peace, it's structure to me. And I know I go to a lot of these podcasts and these open mics. A lot of women are just like, I don't want a man in my house. I don't like that we're at that point because, to be honest, no woman wants to be alone. They can be tough for the world.
Right.
They can have all the millions.
Right.
No woman wants to be alone.
Yeah.
You know? And I just feel like if we don't get to some type of common ground, I need men to hold themselves accountable.
Right.
You know, men are our kings. And I hear a lot of men saying that, man, women are so rough nowadays. Or she pulling a trash can, she putting a tire on the car, she doing an oil change. You know, what happened to us? Hey, babe, fitting the bill.
Right.
You know what's wrong. Here's the money. Let's fix it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, that seemed like another era. I mean, and because on the other side of that statistic, 42% of professional black women, educated black women, women that are earning a decent living, will not get married.
Yeah.
How do we explain that?
So I'm glad you said that. I have a friend, I met her, she's in St. Louis, and she's very successful. She has 7 podcasts. She has like 8 salons. She's over 8 salons.
Okay.
Functioning. Revenue is through the roof. She says she's over it. She's actually to the point where she pays for sex and send them on their way. My God. But
that's where we at, huh?
She broke it down to me. She said, I've tried. I've been engaged. I've been married. I can't get anyone to be okay with me being very wealthy. She doesn't claim to be rich, although she is. She said, I'm very wealthy. I have yet to meet someone who don't make me feel guilty for having money and being able to take the trips or do the things that I need to do. So until I find someone that's okay with that, and I don't think she will, because so many men are jealous. We need more male mentors. And I'm not talking about the mentors that get caught years later cheating on their wife. We need people of the struggle. Someone that say, hey, I've been that guy that was married. I'm single now. Honest mentors, not something that just look up to the par. Okay.
I mean, do you buy the argument that, you know, black men just don't have the opportunity? And because they don't have the opportunity, I mean, do you have to be economically on the same plane to have a healthy relationship?
You don't.
You don't? Okay.
My mother, she was highly educated and my father wasn't. And their love was dynamic. It was not, but like I said, it's a power struggle now. Anything you can do, I can do it better. And that's where we're at with this generation. This generation scares me because you have men, if you get a black man to vent to you, that's power. You have men that are absolutely terrified to say, I'm just not me today. I'm off, I'm down. Why? Because you have so many male friends who make their friend feel like crap for saying, bro, mentally I'm just not okay. You know, we
Right.
gotta get to, we always say, well, my slogan is check on your strong friend, but how many times do you do it?
Right.
Especially with Black History coming up, look at our ancestors, look what they went through. Look what the black man went through.
Right.
Just take a moment to see how he had to hide his family in the woods, getting beat, getting sodomized in front of his family. Things like this should make you have that aha.
Right.
I can be better than this.
Yeah.
But like I said, this generation relies on strictly internet.
Right.
You know, you have some couples who literally live a false life. And here we are going home making our man feel less of a man because this man then went out and spent 20, 30 some thousand on something we believe they bought, but now we're pressuring our men. I want to do these trips. I watched a show with Steve Harvey, and this what made me stop talking about taking trips all over the world. Steve Harvey said, me and my wife has traveled the world. There's nothing exciting about these countries, resorts, other than a view. They had their best time in Las Vegas versus I think they rented out an island in Kuwait. They had their best time on the Strip. So we have this false narrative like I just want to live in the sky. But most people that are in the sky, they want to come down.
They want to come down.
It's the reality because there's just nothing there, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just I just wish that the black man would say, hey, this is me.
Right. Right.
I'm balling today. I might be broke tomorrow. Like say that and mean that and
Right.
stand on that.
So you believe that we have to put a percentage on this problem that we got here?
Yes.
That the lion's share of it is with black men.
And women. I don't want to.
I mean, if you had to put a number on it, a percentage, I mean, what is it? 85, you know?
I would say at this point, traveling and doing what I've been doing and noticing, I would definitely say 50-50.
50-50?
I would say 50-50 because you have a lot of women that are ready to love. You have a lot of men that are ready to love. I have met numerous of men that found love just by letting go of what they thought they wanted. And now they're like happily married, engaged. Like I was pursuing something that never pursued me.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Just, we chase what don't want us. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
You know? I don't know if it just feel good to have what you can't have.
Yeah.
And a lot of women will turn away that nice guy that will text us back, that will take us on a date. But we love the ones that won't hit us up for days and all of a sudden we excited, you know? And then we get on these podcasts and say, I want love. No, you don't. You want issues. So we have to chase what chases us.
Yeah.
You know, Tom and Jerry, they chased each other. It was a beautiful thing.
It was a beautiful thing, and they did that for decades.
So that's been my thing. I'm Tom, I need my Jerry. So if that's not where you're going, then...
Well, how much of that is perhaps rooted in those misconceptions? In my preparation for this conversation, I came across a number of things, and some of the things were some misconceptions. It's like, or I'll get to those misconceptions in a moment, but in terms of describing black love was described as resilient, hopeful, struggle together, going through something together. All of those things was rooted in our history. And so if we bring it back now, there seems to be, as a number of authors said, a misconception that we believe that real love is rooted in struggle. I got to put you through something, and you got to stick with it. Is that something we need to get rid of?
Yes. I don't want to, listen, if you're going to take me through the dirt, there was a topic, you know, on Instagram, this guy, he had all this money, this beautiful IG model. His caption was, I had to stress her out for a few years to see if she was a real one. Are you kidding me? Like, you want to make, you want to be problematic to see if I'm going to stay. Women and men got to put their foot down. No, I don't want to struggle with you. I want to build with you. I'm not going to go on the first date with you and ask you to pay my rent.
Right.
That's not it. But I also don't want to be spending 7 months into the relationship with you and I feel like I can't ask you for help or you can't ask me for help. But to just plain struggle, because I went through the struggle with someone. He left us. You know, so that's not the, I wouldn't advise anyone to go through the struggle with no one.
Right.
That's not, I wish we can take that out. If I could take anything out, no, I don't want to go through struggle.
Right, so you don't have to fight and argue and prove your love to show that, I mean, if you don't go through. So many men
want us to fight to prove our love. I'm going to fight to keep you happy. I'm going to fight to keep you mentally stable. I'm going to fight to keep the lights on. I'm not going to fight to show you I'm better than her. Because we need to, okay, if I'm less, go find more. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to, stress kills. Stress hurts vital organs. You know, you have someone that walks up to you and says, man, I didn't have a headache for weeks. And then they get to talking to you and you figure out the headache. She's stressing you out, calling you, cussing you out, busting your windows out your car. Who wants that? I don't want that. I just don't want it.
Yeah. Essence Magazine identified a healthy relationship, what a healthy relationship looked like. I just want to get your thoughts on it. Healthy black love is trusting. Healthy black love is compassionate. Healthy black love is genuine. Is that list complete? No. What would you add to that?
Healthy black love. It's authentic. It's organic. Healthy black love is rooted. Healthy black love looks amazing. It feels amazing. Healthy black love literally is the sun. The top tier compliment is you've been looking amazing. You've been glowing. What man or woman don't want to hear that? You know, although what Essence said is true, they're leaving out the essence of a woman, you know. I wish that more men would pour into women. We have so many women who are walking around here botched, killing and dying, trying to be the image that they're thinking the man is attracted to. But how often do you hear a man compliment his woman? Because the minute that we say you don't compliment us, you guys are like, or not you, but they're like, you're insecure. Why do I have to compliment? My dad told my mom she was beautiful every morning. And some mornings my mom was looking rough. And I'm just like, oh. But every morning, hey, gorgeous. You know, the kiss on the forehead. Men don't even, whew.
Yeah, and I think it's again, it's a challenge because I guess when we talk about real love, if you're with someone, you're going to see them, you know, when they wake up in the morning. If you are blessed to be with them 10 years later, they're not going to look that the same way. And when I see couples, young and old, you know, you wonder like, you know, how did that happen? But he or she probably didn't look like that when they got together.
I have seen relationships. I'm like, oh, how did she get him? But now that I'm older, I know how that woman got him, and I know how that man got her. You know, it's beauty is just the top layer. You take that away, it's over with. You know, and you have nothing. Some people only rely on their looks, and they feel like my looks is going to get me this far. Your looks can barely get a conversation with me after I figure out where your heart is and your mind is. And I'm big on how, if you say you like me, you want to pursue me, I'm watching how you treat other people. And I'm watching how you treat your loved ones. You know, granted, family can be a bit harsh because when you're in a relationship, you rely on family to say, hey, I'm pursuing her and this is wrong. You rarely have family members that tell you to work on it. Their first reaction, leave him, leave him. That's not like that. Like, you know, back in the day, when a breakup happened, they would cook food, everybody come over, and now it's more like you don't have to put up with it. Okay, you don't have to put up with it, but 9 times out of 10 and 10 times out of 9,
Yeah.
that next person you meet, it's gonna be worse.
Right.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
You know, I've spent this much time with you thinking the grass is greener. The whole time it's fake.
It's fake. Yeah. Yeah.
So now
yeah.
I have left you in the middle of what we could have something so beautiful. Now I'm calling you about my problems in this relationship, and you're like, I'm over it. I
Right.
tried with you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, it's a gamble that is kind of like one of those things that we know how we met, but we don't know how we're going to end, you know,
yeah.
and what that's going to look like. Another thing, one last topic before we get out here. Another point that Essence brought up, which is very interesting, and it goes back to the conversation of our future of the community. They gave a lot of statistics, but it boiled down to 2 incomes are better than 1. The quickest way to upward mobility is to get married, to get in a relationship, because now you're combining assets. But as a community, we have the lowest wealth, we have the lowest income. We are less likely to pass those things on to our kids, in large part because we don't gain it. I mean, if I'm working by myself, I won't make the same gains as if I'm working with somebody else. And so, if nothing else, it's an economic thing that we have to figure this thing out. What are your thoughts?
Well, Essence, that's a touchy subject. You have a lot of people that are on welfare. You have a lot of people that are on a fixed income. I'll give you a prime example. One of my clients I take care of, her and her husband actually had to divorce each other to keep their SSI benefits. Now, when we say SSI benefits, people immediately think, oh, that's a retarded check. No, you have some people who retired, you have some people who fathers left them pensions, and some people who have medical conditions. So I don't feel like, at first I was like, oh, I'm gonna be married, I want to be married. I'm more now, I want a unit more than anything. I know you're mine. I think that society has put this stigma on husbands. Once you guys are married, they cut off everything. The government says, hey, no more medical, no more nothing, you know, everything is cut, you're done. That puts pressure on the husband because now he's pressured to produce. Now he's victimized for not producing. And now the wife is like, oh, this life was better when we were single and we were just dating. So I feel like if we get to that point, the government, they have to loosen up some of these rules. There shouldn't be, if I'm married to my husband, then I can't get this type of supplement, or this is limited. That's not right. Because now it has people really like, I'm not marrying you. You're not gonna mess up my check. So that is the conversation in the household. And it's funny because as I take care of my home care clients, they were married 30 plus years, and now that time has changed. Oh, I had to divorce mom and dad so mom can keep her pension, and it's just like, ouch, you know, like what are we?
It's deep. The economics of it does sometimes conflict with the feelings and emotions. Well, this has been an engaging conversation. I thank you for your time. We've been visiting, talking with Ms. Foster. Sharing her thoughts and views about Black love. We appreciate that. I'm your host, Dr. Marvin Spiller, and you have been tuned in to Vital Perspectives. Thank you, and we hope to see you next time.